Happy Friday and welcome to the 125th episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and it's hard to believe we're already at 125. What better way to start off the milestone episode than with some football talk? As always, starting with the NFL, Week 3 saw some surprises and some upsets. Starting on Sunday morning, Daniel Jones threw for 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and secured a 21-15 win over the Cleveland Browns to give the New York Giants their first win of the season. Another winless team picked up their first win at the same time. Denver Broncos rookie quarterback Bo Nix looked phenomenal, throwing for 216 yards, rushing for 47 and a touchdown, and leading the Broncos to a statement 26-7 win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had not lost until this point. Like I said, Nix finally had a great game, but it was Denver's defense that won them this game. They sacked Bucs quarterback Baker Mayfield a whopping 7 times, forced 1 interception and 1 fumble, and held future Hall of Fame receiver Mike Evans to just 2 catches for 17 yards. On a personal note, I've said before that I am a lifelong Broncos fan. On top of that, my dad is a lifelong Buccaneers fan. So, sorry Dad, but that win felt good. And while I'm at it, I should apologize to my mom also, who's a Cowboys fan. The Baltimore Ravens literally ran right over Dallas as the team rushed for a combined 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Cowboys now fall to 1-2, and it seems to be an uphill battle for them the rest of the season. Probably the biggest surprises of the week came on Monday night. First on the list of shocking events was the fact that we had 2 Monday Night Football games this week. To start, we had an AFC matchup between the undefeated Buffalo Bills and the struggling Jacksonville Jaguars. Right after the opening kickoff, this game got ugly. On the opening drive, quarterback Josh Allen led the Bills on a 10-play, 70-yard drive with ease that resulted in a touchdown. And the scoring didn't stop there for Buffalo. Allen finished his day with 263 passing yards and 4 touchdowns as the Bills routed the Jaguars 47-10. The backups came in for Buffalo towards the end, and even they got in the end zone. The second game of the night kicked off just 45 minutes after the start of the first game. Luckily, this game was much closer. The matchup of the Washington Commanders and the Cincinnati Bengals came down to the final seconds, and it was an electric game the entire time. On the opening drive, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow unleashed a deep ball down the left sideline, and it was hauled in for a 41-yard score by receiver Jamar Chase. After a ton of back-and-forth scoring, the Commanders sat with an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter. Another deep strike from Burrow to Chase would bring the Bengals within striking distance as the score sat at 31-26 with the Commanders on top and just 9 minutes remaining. On the following drive, an unbelievable 27-yard touchdown from Washington rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels to receiver Terry McLaurin with just 2 minutes remaining in the game would seal the upset for Washington. Daniels finished his day throwing just 2 incompletions, going 21 for 23 for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns, on top of 39 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. One last fun fact about this game, for the first time since 1940, this was an NFL game that featured 0 punts and 0 turnovers. Like I said, electric from start to finish. While it was a fun week across the league, it was not a fun week for my picks. It all started with another upset when the last place Panthers totally dismantled the Raiders for their first win of the year, and then, like I just said, the Bengals lost in a major upset. Other than that, the Seahawks and Bills did win, bringing me to 2-2 again on the week and a perfect 500 at 4-4 on the season. Let's see if I can finally get a winning record this week. This week, I'll go with the Broncos to upset the New York Jets, the Texans over their rival Jaguars on Sunday, the Chiefs over their rival Chargers, and lastly, the Lions over the Seahawks on Monday. Heading over to the NCAA, this week, again, had a lot of blowouts. The number 1 team in the country, the Texas Longhorns, defeated UL Monroe 51-3. This was the first game with the quarterback the entire country has been waiting to see under center, Arch Manning, son of Cooper Manning, nephew of Eli and Peyton Manning, and grandson of Archie Manning. Arch already appears to be a seasoned vet, throwing for 7 touchdowns and running for 2 more across just 2 games after taking over for starting quarterback Quinn Ewers. Other than the blowouts, Illinois narrowly defeated Nebraska in overtime, USC lost to Michigan on a heartbreaking last-second field goal, and Tennessee held off a valiant comeback effort by Oklahoma. Since we're getting more into the meat of the season, there's some major matchups on the horizon. This weekend, number 20 Oklahoma State will head to Manhattan, Kansas to face number 23 Kansas State at 9 a.m. on ESPN. Then, at 12:30 p.m. on Peacock, number 16 Notre Dame will host number 15 Louisville. Before all of that, though, oh man, do we have a good one. On Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on ABC, the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs visit the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide for a Southeastern Conference opener and only their 3rd regular season meeting since 2015. Of the last 8 matchups, 4 have come in the SEC title games and 2 in the College Football Playoff Championship games. This will be only the 5th time since 2000 that 2 top 4 teams have met before the month of October. We're in for a treat early in the season, and I can't wait. Speaking of excitement, October's next week, meaning it's time for playoff baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers clinched their playoff spot with a massive 20-4 blowout over the Miami Marlins last Thursday. It was almost a given that the Dodgers would make the playoffs this year, but this isn't even the main part of the story. Yet again, Shohei Ohtani has made history. Ohtani, who became the fastest player to record 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases in a single season, hit his 50th homer of the season in the top of the 7th inning after stealing his 50th and 51st bases earlier in the game, becoming the inaugural member of the 50-50 Club. It seems like every other week throughout Ohtani's entire career, we've heard some new crazy record that he's broken, but this one might be the most impressive yet. Not only that, Shohei Ohtani's stats in this game were absolutely absurd. He finished the night going 6 for 6 with 2 doubles and 3 home runs on top of 10 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. I truly don't know if we'll ever see a talent like Ohtani ever again. Like I said, this is a game that secured the playoff berth for the Dodgers. Another SoCal team clinched a spot in the playoffs this week, also in a ridiculous way, and this one was against the Dodgers. Gotta love baseball. On Tuesday night, in the bottom of the 9th, the San Diego Padres were holding on to a 4-2 lead over the Dodgers. There were no outs with runners on first and second, with Dodgers Miguel Rojas at the plate. And on deck, who else but Shohei Ohtani? Things were looking bleak for the Padres as it seemed likely Shohei would step up to the plate in a prime position for a walk-off win. Then, the impossible happened. Rojas hit a sharp grounder to third base, which was fielded by Manny Machado, who tagged third, flipped it to Jacob Cronenworth at second base, who turned and fired one to Donovan Solano at first base to record a triple play, ending the game and clinching a playoff spot. That was only the 3rd triple play to end a game in the past 30 years. The Padres, unsurprisingly, became the first team in Major League history to clinch a playoff spot with a game-ending triple play. Here's a look around the rest of the league at who's in the playoffs and who is just on the brink. In the NL, the Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers, and Padres are all in, with the Mets and Diamondbacks just on the brink, and the Braves are a bit of a long shot. In the American League, the Guardians, Astros, Yankees, and Orioles are all in, with the Tigers and Royals most likely earning a spot, but the Twins still have a shot as well. By the time this show airs on Friday morning, a few more teams may have already clinched their spots. The first wildcard game started on Tuesday, October 1st. That'll just about do it for the 125th episode of Sports Corner and the final episode of September. Enjoy the fall weekend, which includes playoff baseball, NFL and college football, a ton of soccer, WNBA, preseason NHL, and so much more. Come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights from across all of these sports. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.